What's up? What's happening? George Balekji here with Travis Thomas, my main man on Foxborough Rush. Same show, new studio, new digs. So welcome into the new look of Rush.
I love it. The vibes are immaculate here.
It's a little post up in the bar, man cave. Ooh. Pour yourself a lunch.
Yeah.
Have some chowder and talk
pour
ball.
Yourself a lunch.
Main lunch. You've had some. I've had 7. Headaches aren't great, but that beer tastes great going down.
I love it, bro. I love it. No, listen. Plus, the time of the year, too. I know it's not football season yet, but you have rookie camp, which we'll talk about.
Never the off-season.
Plenty of drama, which we'll get to with a former coach around here. So a lot of storylines going on. I love this time of year. It's low-key football time of year.
Low-key football. Yeah. It's always football season. As Trav alluded to, what we got for you guys today, Patriots rookie minicamp is kicking off. So we'll get into the expectations, what we're watching for, what players we want to see stand out, and what the fans should expect as well. But also with a new leader when it comes to their front office and pro scouting. Is this still nepotism at play in New England? And finally, there are updates by the moment, by the minute, by the hour.
Ever-changing.
On Bill and Jordy, Borden, Bill Belichick, and Jordon Hudson. Yeah, we're going to get into that even here on Foxborough Rush because, to be honest, guys, I can't get enough of this team. Trav, let's start with the Patriots kicking off rookie minicamp out in Gillette. So as of the recording of this show and as of you guys watching it, hasn't kicked off yet, but the big thing is this is the true start of a new era. New coaching staff, new front office leaders, sounds like it's Mike Vrabel. New all-around aura around this franchise as they get past and put behind Bill Belichick and Gerard Mayo, all in on Mike Vrabel. And with this rookie minicamp, we'll see 28 undrafted free agents and draft picks out there on the practice field.
Yeah, but listen, I allow you to go into the weeds because I'll be honest with you. I look at the first-round picks through the fourth-round picks. Once you get past that, listen, I'm not saying you can't make the team, but we know sometimes they don't. So I'm looking first through fourth round here, guys that can come in and make an impact immediately. From rookie minicamp, you're not going to get a ton of things. But I tell you what I don't want to hear, George. I don't want to hear Will Campbell is getting blown up. He looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Just go out there, learn what you're doing. Don't make headlines. In Will Campbell's case, just go out there and do your job. Play the position, play the role, get to know your teammates, be gracious to the media, all things that we've seen him do at LSU before. We saw him do to a certain extent, minus playing. On draft night, he was excellent with the media, I thought. Do all that at rookie camp, and I feel good about it. What I don't need is tweets, reports, sound bites on this show and others. He looked a little uncomfortable. I don't know. Will Campbell might be in over his skis. No. We need him to just come in, be comfortable, be unassuming. That's what the great offensive linemen in this league are. We don't talk about them, and it's for a good reason. If we're talking about you, it's because you're lost or you're getting blown up out there.
You don't pay attention past the fourth round. So Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle out of your Florida State. Brady Swinson,
I like him.
Edge rusher.
Well, Farmer was in the fourth round. He's a fourth rounder.
He was just outside of the fourth round. Pick 137.
I'll count him in.
There we go.
I'll count him in. He's cool. I'm with him. But beside that, not interested. Not saying they're not going to be good players.
You cut yourself off before Andres Borregales.
Yeah, I'm not. No. You want
Julian
analysis
Ashby,
on that?
the long snapper.
George would love to break that down.
I do. Well, and so that's part of it, though. I think what's important, we got to start with what the structure would be out there on the practice field. This is the first look at this brand new coaching staff.
Yes.
No holdovers. Everyone brand new. Jeremy Springer's a holdover on the special teams coach. But brand new head coach, a return of Josh McDaniels as the OC, Terrell Williams as a defensive coordinator. First time he's holding this role, but pretty much majority. Let's go 99%.
Sure.
All new faces on the coaching staff.
Drake May, year 2.
How do they run practice? How do they communicate? And when it comes to the rookies, yes, there's a Will Campbell, there's a TreVeyon Henderson, and we know, we'll get into that with Kyle Williams. But it also is in a way of like, who are the vocal leaders? Everything we're hearing about this draft class, A-plus person, great leader, football IQ, football guy, football character, cool. What are you going to see on the field when it's very low stakes, it's just getting off rip, but now as they start their pro career? So I think there's so much that goes into it where it slides under the radar, but especially teams that are resetting and rebuilding, like the Patriots, this is a massive, massive thing to watch heading into the weekend.
I hear you on that. I think it's going to take longer, though. I think you could start to see maybe some guys establish themselves as rookies at a rookie camp, but you're not going to really see leaders until you get through training camp, into the preseason and start a regular season. Young teams, sometimes it takes a while for guys to sort of take that lead. Plus, listen, we're talking about we should rephrase that too, outside of Drake May. Because Drake May is the leader. They have given him the keys, right? Like, he test drove last season. Now he's in the captain's chair. He is driving this car. So I think Drake May is the leader of this team. We're just looking for guys outside of him, alongside of him, to help out.
You'll get the Will Campbells. I think the Jared Wilsons. We'll see him step up, the center out of Georgia. But also, and what you go to, too, is, we can have the leaders coming out of a rookie minicamp, but when training camp unfolds and you really get into the dog days of the summer.
That's right.
And lead into the regular season when the competition heats up. I remember last year's rookie minicamp, Jalen Polk was a vocal leader. Jalen Polk looked dominant, going first in the drills.
I remember.
Looked quick, good footwork, looked like everything you want to see.
Yep.
First day of training camp for me, I liked everything I saw out of Jalen Polk.
Yep.
And then how the rookie season went overway. So that's also like, you get your sample size, you get your taste, but it's also just getting started on everything. It's not the full story, but it's still what you want to see. Out of the rookies, and we went through them.
Sure.
Let's start with the draft picks. Will Campbell, TreVeyon Henderson, Kyle Williams, Jared Wilson, Craig Woodson, the safety, Joshua Farmer, Braden Swinson, kicker. I won't go to you on that one.
No, don't.
Marcus Bryant, the left tackle, Julian Ashby's a long snapper, Kobe Miners, Mr. Irrelevant. Really look at the top 7 draft picks.
Thank you. Which is
from Will Campbell to Braden Swinson, the edge rusher, all those guys. What's a rookie you're going to be watching, you're going to be looking forward to reading about, hearing about, having me come in and talk your ear off about?
I'm willing to talk all of them with you outside of the kicker and the long snapper, but TreVeyon Henderson for me. You know why? I think he has an opportunity to come in and really, quite frankly, take the starting role here. I think he can be the starting running back. Although, I think they'll be running the ball collectively by committee, Ramondre and others. But I think TreVeyon can come in and take this job because of 2 reasons. Number one, let's start with Ramondre Stevenson. He's had every single opportunity to be the man, George, and he hasn't really grasped it. He's shown flashes. We've seen big games from him, but it's not consistent. He gets banged up. That ankle gets a little, banged up here or there. He has nagging injuries here or there, misses a game, or he's not 100%. It's not good enough. It's not going to get it done in this league. TreVeyon Henderson, here's the other reason. He's a home run hitter. So you're being brought in to be just that. Home run hitters, I feel the same way with Kyle Williams, who I know we'll talk about. Home run guys, it doesn't take them long to show that. Oh, there's that explosiveness. He just bust a big run for 30, 40 yards, whatever it is. So I think TreVeyon Henderson has an opportunity right now in rookie camp and beyond, of course, but it starts here to sort of establish himself as maybe that could be our starting running back. One of the things I would implore him to pick up immediately is pass protection. Because if you're going to take that role, if you're going to become the man at running back, which is possible in my opinion, you better get pass pro as in today.
And he's got it. He's advanced coming out of Ohio
State. Yeah, but this is the NFL.
Yes,
this is NFL.
1,000%.
So I need to see it.
Yeah.
But if that can translate from the Ohio State to the NFL, I think he's going to be your starting running back. I really do.
I don't want him being the starting running back.
Why?
I don't, because he was at his best at Ohio State when he was dialing down the touches. Everything's going to get bigger and more physical. And I think TreVeyon Henderson is a perfect complement to Ramondre Stevenson. Are you wrong pointing out the fumbling issues he had last season? No. Are you wrong pointing out his injury history? No. But this guy has been the workhorse of this offense. But it's also what I'm watching for is a Will Campbell and a Jared Wilson. How do they stand out on that offensive line? And how do they set up a TreVeyon Henderson for success? Because if TreVeyon Henderson's if the 5 guys up front are doing well, and Ramondre Stevenson's doing good on first and second down and sometimes on third, and when TreVeyon Henderson comes in to spell him, give him a breather, give him a breath, and come in on third down or certain key situations like key passing downs because he is a good route runner as well, that is what the structure of this offense looks like. And with Josh McDaniels' offense, it's not simple. It's not going to be easy. Ohio State runs a complex offense, but this is the next level in the NFL.
Yes.
I don't want to see a rookie running back get smothered, overwhelmed, and not be able to pick up, and all of a sudden he's just behind the 8 ball his entire rookie season. Take your time working in a TreVeyon Henderson, because when he hits the ground running and when he can be that RB1, and we'll see what the usage looks like, I'd rather it be for the long-term setting him up for success. Again, everything with this team is long-term, but with a draft pick like a TreVeyon Henderson, and just look around the league, some of the best backfields. It took Jahmyr Gibbs a while to get up to the workload he has now, but him and David Montgomery, they work in cohesion in that offense. And look at some other backfields, how they build them around. The Saquon Barkley's, he's an anomaly. But the successful backfields we've seen, throughout the entire NFL with some of the best run games. It's complementary backs. It's keeping guys fresh. And why, like, the age of the bell cow back, I understand it. There is value of a guy you can rely on, that can be durable, can carry the run game. I get it. But if the best Ramondre Stevenson is dialing back his carries and the best TreVeyon Henderson is keeping his touches in check, no more than 15 in a game, give me that, because that's the best offense for Drake May.
Schematically, I get what you're saying. I guess where I'm going, where you're not hearing me, is you bring up Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in Detroit, and that's a great example. But David Montgomery's better than Ramondre Stevenson. It's that simple. So I don't think Ramondre Stevenson is as good as you're giving him credit for. My point is, if this kid comes in and he flashes and he's showing like, oh, we might have something here. Maybe this isn't a committee situation. Maybe this is Henderson as the guy. Ramondre spells him. That's possible. Just because he wasn't in that role at Ohio State. Judkins, who was the other back there, also went pretty high in this draft. Also a dog in his own right.
3 picks before Henderson.
So what I'm saying is maybe either one of those guys could come to the NFL and translate to being an every down back and being the man. You have to go into it with an open mind. I think schematically what they want to do is what you're saying. My point is, if you get in rookie, it starts here with rookie camp and beyond. But if this kid is showing he could be the guy, let him be. I don't want to get into a pigeonhole situation where it's we have to run the ball by committee. If this kid's good as I think he could be.
It's also to point out on the TreVeyon Henderson, the guy that's going to be in front of him and drafted in front of him. Eyes have to be on Will Campbell.
Yeah.
It's a leader that he is, because this is a guy, the reports were coming out of the NFL Combine and the meetings, everything like that. When there were workouts for teams, like, he would be the alpha among the guys at the Combine. He'd be the alpha among the alphas. Like, being the leader that other first-round draft picks at left tackle, right tackle, guard, center, wherever, were following him. How quickly does Will Campbell take hold of that and run with that? This is a guy that's an extension of a Mike Vrabel. Vrabel absolutely loves him. What are we going to see from a Will Campbell? And on the opposite end of that, too, with Jared Wilson, he could challenge. That's one that's legitimate. He will be challenging Grant Bradbury for that starting center spot. And I would live with it, because what you have, Grant Bradbury is not on a massive dollar signing at center. But with Jared Wilson being the 4th overall pick for the Patriots in this draft, that's more than team-friendly. That's more than cost-control contract.
Sure.
That is pennies on the dollar. You can afford to have 2 centers, either one that could be a starter because of that rookie contract. I think Jared Wilson, my eyes are on him of how quickly does he just hit the ground running, and does he seem comfortable? We're not going to get too much out of rookie minicamp. Pads aren't going to come on right away. The drills will be light, but it is that challenge, and that is that first dosage of you're in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Wilson's the same thing we talked about with Will Campbell, where I was saying we just want reports not saying that you look lost, that you're getting beaten drills, things like that. It's almost like no news is good news in a way. Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, they look just fine. Great, boom, let's move on, because that's what you want at those positions. Look, we talked about Henderson being the home run hitter. I kind of want to see Kyle Williams, too,
in
this. Because draft night, I got absolutely skewered, butchered.
Deservedly so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because there were other wide receivers I wanted who were still on the board, is why I was upset, right? It was necessarily anything against Williams. It was that there were other receivers that I thought fit the needs better of what the Patriots needed at this time. However, Kyle Williams was a pick. Got it. Everyone said, same thing I was saying about Henderson, he's a home run hitter. He could take the top off the defense. It does not take long for these players to translate. It does not take long to at least see the flashes. I'm not saying the guy's Jerry Rice, but I'm saying if that's your role in this offense, even in rookie camp, we should see signs of that. I remember covering Deshaun Jackson when he went to Washington, and it was immediate. I mean, like the first practice where the media was involved, you saw the guy's speed. They threw him a couple bombs. You're like, okay, here we go. And at that time, Washington's quarterback situation was a mess, a train wreck. It didn't matter. It was Deshaun Jackson. Not saying Kyle Williams is going to be him, but what I'm saying is if that's your role here within this offense, within this team, even as a rookie, we should see that in rookie camp.
And it's how quickly can he grasp the pro concepts, everything he's going to be running. How quickly can he take in and just push back out and show it on the field.
That's right.
The coaching he would get from a Josh McDaniels. Because I know he's the offensive coordinator, but don't get it twisted. Josh McDaniels is the offensive coordinator, the play caller,
Yes.
the quarterback's coach, and the wide receivers coach.
That's right.
Like, he's going to have his hands on everything, and it's a very, very demanding system to play in.
Yep.
But if you run block and you're smart, you will thrive and have career years out of Josh McDaniels. The one I'll throw out, too,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing Land Larson, the athlete out of UC Davis. FCS, what will he be drilling at? And to this point, what position? No, seriously.
Where
Will it
you
be
gonna
running
move him?
back?
Right.
Will it be a slot receiver?
Right.
Will we see him on the field taking reps as a gunner? Will he be fielding punts and being a returner? Same thing with kickoffs. Because that's the one guy, you look at the list of undrafted free agents, I would also go with the G. Scott out of Ohio State.
Okay.
Was a tight end for the Buckeyes. But profiles like a bigger wide receiver, more of a slot, be down the seams, downfield, tight end in a way. He's not going to be an inline blocker, but he has the speed to move vertically. He has a good straight line speed and good hands and is a fluid mover with his wide receiver background. Those are two guys of what do they look like in camp? What's the workload they're getting? Again, same thing. Are they leaders? But Land Larson, like, those are the two guys I circle of I would not be shocked when they make the final roster. Larson for his special teams contributions and his versatility. G. Scott of just how he could fill so many roles on this offense as well as another. It's a bigger body pass catcher.
Sure.
6'3", 215, moves well. There is nothing safe when it comes to the pass catchers, in my opinion, going into this offseason. Those are guys I could see stand out.
On the defensive side, Josh Farmer, Craig Woodson, two guys who I think can make an impact here. Again, you know, I said this at the top of the show. When you're a later round draft pick like those guys are, just don't get in and bleep this up. Just get in where you fit in, learn the system, you know, be in position, know your playbook, and you'll be just fine. If you develop and you become some great player, excellent. But I'm not expecting that off the top.
It's also with the Craig Woodson, same thing. Where's he used?
Yeah.
Is he going to be that deep third safety, boundary safety?
Right.
Is he going to be a nickel corner?
Right.
Because they have a need there and they do have safeties on this roster.
They do.
And how much can he take on off the bat? That's what I'm intrigued by. This was a good draft class. It was a smart draft class.
We'll see.
It made sense, right? And
We'll see.
Get that taste of last year.
I know.
Out of your mouth.
I can't.
It's impossible.
How can I?
I understand.
That draft class last season was trash, outside of Drake May.
And that's why this is a pivotal one.
Yeah,
and with
it
the
is.
same thing of building off of last year, and especially when they get into training camp.
Right.
What are the reps looking like for Layden Robinson? Where is he lining up? Caden Wallace, where is he repping as well?
It's true.
And that's where there are the guys where, like, Wallace was injured. Layden Robinson, good run blocker, needs to grow on pass pro. He's a fourth-round pick. I wasn't expecting him to play at all last year. He was thrusted into that because the offensive line was so bad.
Yeah.
That's where it's the overarching, the big picture now of going into this offseason. This draft class is crucial because last year's was so
agree.
bad. I won't write off everyone from last year yet.
I won't yet, even though I called them trash. But the reality is, listen, this stuff isn't an exact science. 1 year into it, 1 year removed from that draft class, feels like trash outside of Drake May. However, we know guys obviously develop, and guys can get better. And we could look back and say, man, that Jalen Polk, that Javon Baker sure can play.
Sophomore jump.
And I can go back and say, you know, I used to call them all kinds of names on TV. I would welcome that. I hope that happens. I'm not holding my breath out of what I've seen so far. Hopefully this draft class, to your point, is much better than that one because it's hard to be much worse.
It just shows what they're putting into this. 28 total rookies are coming into this camp. Out of the 90-man roster, that's what you break camp with, 31% of them are either undrafted free agents or draft picks by the Patriots. That's how that turnover begins. That's how a rebuild starts. 31% of the roster to be guys fresh out of college. Age be damned what the range will be. That's what's impressive. All right, not just rookies that we're going to be watching for as the Patriots get into their offseason. It's also a new hire and a new leader when it comes to the pro scouting department. And this is a new era for the Patriots, but nepotism is still at play. We'll have more for that after this quick break on Foxborough Rush. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. George Balekji with Travis Thomas. All right, we were talking rookies. Let's talk about a new director of pro scouting, someone that's a rookie in this role. Patriots announced it. A.J. Highsmith will be taking over that role. Was previously Pat Stewart. After 2 seasons, he left to be the GM at Nebraska. So I see his headline come across, and I go, okay, cool. New director of pro scouting. Sounds good. And then I look again, I go, Highsmith. Alonzo Highsmith is a Patriots senior personnel executive. So then I Google A.J. Highsmith. He's Alonzo Highsmith Jr., son of Alonzo Highsmith, who's with the Patriots. Now, here's the thing with A.J. Highsmith. He has been in the personnel in the NFL for 11 years. Previous stints, 49ers, with the Bills, with the Titans. So this is a guy that's built up his resume. But the question is, when Mike Borgonzi got to Tennessee, the new general manager for the Tennessee Titans, came over from Kansas City, A.J. Highsmith was let go from his position. Was looking for a job, gets hired by the Patriots, fine, has that resume. But this is where it all comes back to. And this is what we've seen with Steve Belichick, with Brian Belichick, with Mick Lombardi, who was an offensive assistant for the Patriots for 3 years, Michael Lombardi's son.
That's right.
Is this the best hire? Is it? I don't know. And I don't know who else would be out there for this role. But was this hire made because that's someone that can handle that job, being the director of pro scouting and will do a great job for a team that's in a reset?
That's a big job.
Or was this hire made because it's Alonzo's son?
Well, either way, I think it's a fair question, but it's on the kid in all of these cases to show up and show out and prove that, okay, yeah, sure, my old man is X, Y, and Z, but I can do the gig. We see this in sports all the time. Manning, Sanders. Shanahan's. This is a normal thing. Hell, George, in our industry, we see it all the time. I've worked at a lot of places where someone's son gets an opportunity. Now, again, as I said, it's on the kid. Look, your dad may have got you in the building or got you in the industry, so to speak, but what are you going to do when you're there? I don't think I have a problem with it. And maybe it's because I'm a dad and I think I'm already, really, my son's 8, and I'm already seeing a lot of things that I did at a later age in him already. Does that make sense? Like, I remember being preteen, and I could tell you every statistic of every baseball player because of baseball cards and things like that. My son is starting to do this stuff at 8 years old. So in my head, I'm like, hey, you know, maybe he could end up a broadcaster one day. Who knows? He's got that kind of personality. I'm telling you right now on tape, so it's clear. If he comes to me at, I don't know, 17, 18 years old, and he's like, Dad, can you get me in at Nesson? Because I'll still be here by then. Hear that, bosses? I'm going to say, you're damn right, son. Come on in. So I don't necessarily have a problem with the kid getting the opportunity, George.
Yes.
It's just about if he comes in and messes this whole thing up, then it makes the whole family look bad.
It's not messes the whole thing up for me. It's, again, is he the right hire? Is it the best hire you can make?
I think that's a fair question.
Or are you doing a favor for Alonzo?
That's fair.
And Alonzo's looking out for his son. I get it. And again, 11 years of experience, a bulk of that, all but 2 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, learning from front offices and smart franchises. So I understand all of that. But Mike Vrabel, don't get it twisted, was hired because Robert Kraft loves him. Josh McDaniels was hired because Robert Kraft loves him and knows him.
Yes.
And look, Mike Vrabel, when he built out his defensive staff, it's his guys. The offensive staff, outside of Josh McDaniels, Thomas Brown, it's his guys. Todd Downing, I'm talking about, and the rest of them. Like, those are his guys. There's connections. But there's the relationships. But it's, again, director of pro scouting for a team that has been atrocious at evaluating talent. And a lot of that having to do with Bill Belichick.
Yes.
A lot of him having the final say on a lot of things. This is something that's so crucial. And we've seen Steve Belichick, good assistant. Brian Belichick, good assistant. Can they get past this? And it's the same thing of why was Gerard Mayo the head coach for the Patriots for a season? A title he wasn't, and a job he wasn't ready for? It's because Robert Kraft loved him. Can the Patriots just get away from this? And in a way, if you're Alonzo Highsmith, look out for your son and do him a solid. You can get him a job elsewhere around the league. But don't bring this unfair microscope over him.
Well, some of this, though, George, is opportunity. I mean, I hear you could get him a job around the league, but is that available to him? If the Patriots are available, you got to take what you can. But I get your point. I even think you brought up the Belichicks. The timing of this is interesting because with the Belichicks, it was all good. I mean, you were winning. It was a dynasty. It made sense. Now, to your point, this is a rebuild. You really have to roll your sleeves up. You can't just bring your kid in to a well-oiled machine like the Belichicks could. Right now, this machine is broke the hell down and needs people that can work on it, roll up their sleeves and get dirty. So again, this is all on the kid. The pressure is going to be on Junior to come in and get it done because he has a lot of work to do, George.
He does, and I'll be fine with that. But like, do this job, do it elsewhere. And I think that's what, if I was Alonzo Highsmith, I would have done. Is he the best hire? I'm not like, there are times where I'll own what I don't know. I don't know who the best new director of pro scouting is out there. I don't know. But this is a guy that was with the 49ers, with the Bills fired, with the Titans fired. Why not go into the Philadelphia Eagles brain trust of talent evaluation, the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Houston Texans? Like they've had their mishaps when it came to their offensive playbook and offensive line, but look at their recent buildup of talent. The San Francisco 49ers, in a way, are going into that, but directly from Kyle Shanahan. And that's my thing. Like, what was this process like? Who did you interview? Or you just gave it to A.J. Highsmith because obviously Alonzo Highsmith is going to speak highly of him. Well, I just want a serious football operation.
But you can't gloss over that. Like, let's think of two things. First of all, the dad gives you the cosign, and you trust the dad, right? That's number one. Number two, dad's there to help. Like, I don't think, I get what you're saying, and it's a fair question. And if you and I don't know enough in that world to know if there was another hire to be made, to your point, so we can't really argue it. But my thing is, I will give the benefit of the doubt because you have trust with the father, and the dad's going to be around to help the kid out. So let's just see what the kid can do. Give him a season. If it's a train wreck, even the dad will know. Alonzo will know. You got to go, son. Sorry. It happens.
We'll see.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because if he gets in here and he's doing fine, let him. I don't think I have a problem with the nepotism in terms of getting opportunities. I think where I have an issue is nepotism to where you got the opportunity.
You have security because of it.
And you get security because of it. That's where I have the issue. Coming into the door, I will use that card if it's available to me based on my merit, based on what I'm doing. I'm the one sticking my neck out for my son or my daughter, whatever it is. But once you're in the door, because my neck is out for you, if I see you around the building messing up, I'm going to check you. And that's probably what the Patriots are thinking. If this kid messes it up, then they should make the change. It shouldn't be job security because of your last name. That's when I have a problem with it personally.
I would, again, it's just, if everything's going to be about Vrabel and how he builds this team, and if you want to go outside of what his vision is, what his approach is, his overall just attention to detail when it comes to talent evaluation, get the best candidate. What were we talking about the moment Aaron Glenn turned down the defensive coordinator interview? I said he knows it's going to be a hoax, or excuse me, head coach interview for the Patriots. He knows it's going to be a waste of time.
Rooney Rule crap.
And that was Aaron Glenn raising that red flag of it's not a true evaluation process.
Right. He was right.
And then you and I, we were Vrabel or Ben Johnson. We saw both sides, right?
Yep.
And I wanted, like, I didn't want Aaron Glenn. I wanted a offensive mastermind or someone with experience.
Sure.
But it just shows again the BS of a process the Crafts have operated with throughout this past 2 off seasons. Baking in Gerard Mayo as a successor at head coach. Firing Gerard Mayo, keeping Elliott Wolf. Bringing in Mike Vrabel, where everyone knew the moment Gerard Mayo was fired, it was going to be Mike Vrabel. Bringing in Ryan Cowden. Not giving him the GM title so you don't actually launch that search of a general manager. And those interview processes are valuable. Teams that do that, like the Los Angeles Chargers, they knew they were going to hire Jim Harbaugh. Everyone knew they were going to bring in Jim Harbaugh. They still interviewed 14 different candidates for the head coaching position, and you gain knowledge from that. So it's just, again, for Robert and Jonathan Kraft.
That's fair.
Why are you doing this? And then with Alonzo Highsmith, that guy's been around football for a long time. There are a lot of jobs out there. You can get your son a job with one of these franchises. And last one on this one. You want to set him up for success? Make a call, again, to a Philly, to a Kansas City, someone with connects and going, that's where you're going to learn. That's where you're going to learn. Build up the resume. You'll be good here.
AJ, congratulations. I wish you luck. If I don't hear your name again, it means you're doing a great job. But just know, George is watching you like a hawk.
And if he does great, I'll eat crow. It's nothing against A.J. Highsmith. It's this entire process we've seen from the Crafts.
Fair enough.
That's where I always stand. Talking about a process, we're going to get into the process of UNC, Bill Belichick, Jordon Hudson. So many reports coming out. We got Kasey Hudson joining us. Full-fledged Foxborough Rush investigative team going in on this next. Welcome back in. Foxborough Rush, George Balekji, Travis Thomas. We got a special one coming your guys' way. There's more tea coming out on Jordon Hudson and Bill Belichick. Let's bring her in right away. No relation, no affiliation.
At all.
But a much higher standard of a human being, Kasey Hudson. You know we're here at Ness, and you catch her on Hockey Hub. Respect her game.
That's a great
and
intro.
on the chat as well. Let's bring Case in. Case, you, Travis, and I have been hot on the case.
Yes.
On Bill Belichick and Jordon Hudson. The most recent report coming out on Pablo Torre Finds Out, his podcast. Let's play for the folks right here. The first step in the latest development for Jordon Hudson at UNC.
That Jordon Hudson is no longer allowed in the football building.
Okay.
She is not allowed on the football field. Mm-hmm. Quote, don't think you'll be hearing much from Jordon moving forward.
Wow.
Dang, not in the building?
That's a little flippant. I feel like that is what is done with a distraction, and a team is within its rights to do that when it comes to external distractions.
All right, guys, so first step is that report coming out. But since, and this is what I love, it's like press release off. It's statement off. That the University of North Carolina put out a statement themselves. Well, this is a report coming from The Athletic. While Jordon Hudson is not an employee at the University of North Carolina Athletics, she is welcome to the Carolina football facilities. An athletic department spokesman said in a statement noting there were, quote, false reports about her role. And this one, quote, Jordon will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand outside of his responsibilities for Carolina football and the university. And then you see the tweet there on your screen from Chris Vanini saying that while she's not an employee, again, she's welcome to North Carolina football facilities. All right, Case, Trav, what are we thinking here, guys? What is going on?
Go ahead, Hudson. Restore the family name.
My father is like angry because he is a proud man of our last name. The amount of merch that he just sends at random, to say the least. But no, like context clues, right? So you hear the statement that comes out by UNC, and they mentioned that she is still very much welcome because you can't tell her she's not able to go to the facilities unless something detrimental happened to where she, is causing direct issues to UNC. But the part that I found super funny is the fact that she can handle Belichick's personal brand, but nothing outside of his personal brand. UNC is not his brand. And they also said football related. So when you're thinking of all of this, they're trying to find the most PR politically correct way to say, like, you actually need to take a hike, but like, we can't fully tell you to do so. But it's time. I mean, George and I talked about it on chat a number of times. Like, it's fine that Bill put himself in this position, but because of who he is to the university, how she implicates him, he implicates the university. So boundaries had to go up one way or another. And I'm glad that they did it, because how many Hudsons are in the headlines just completely disturbing the peace? I mean, come on, Kate is crushing it. I'm just trying to live up to the expectation. And then there's this extra layer of just like wild.
There's only one Hudson in the headlines right now, and it's the worst Hudson of them all. Unfortunately. This is, and that's the best thing to point out is the context. Jordon will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand outside of his responsibilities for UNC football and the university. And then soon enough, we're going to hear Smith & Schuster put out a statement. Hey, Jordon Hudson, Bill Belichick, what he wants to do with his own stuff, fine. When it comes to our book and promotions, we have someone with him too. That's what I think this is the first step in. They're saying she is allowed in the football facilities, but UNC is coming out and saying in a way, we're taking away the responsibility. We're not trusting her when it comes to our university, which is smart by the Tar Heels, Trav.
You guys know what's going on here. This is all judicious mumbo jumbo. This is UNC protecting themselves when it comes to the legalities of everything. But behind the scenes are saying, keep her away from here, Bill. This comes down to the football field for me. Because, Case, you don't know this about me yet, but I'm a college football junkie. And I'm here to let you know right now. Thank God for UNC. This is happening in May and not during the season, because they have their hands full on the football field. In the ACC, I wrote this down in tiers so you guys would understand. SMU, Clemson, and the U. We'll call that tier, they're here. They're already here. All those teams are the truth and probably will be making the college football playoff. It's possible. They coming tier. Cuse, Louisville, Virginia Tech, and maybe a school you both have heard of, Boston College. They coming. That's that tier. That's where UNC is. So right now, with Bill Belichick, dare I say it, he is causing the distraction, which was a bad word around here for how long with the Patriots. Don't cause a distraction. Stay focused on the game. Look at what Bill's doing. Meanwhile, on the field, this could absolutely hurt his team, 100%.
All right, and we know this magnifying glass came out after his awful interview with CBS, which was hijacked and sabotaged.
By her.
Unintentionally, by her. But the big part and what made it blow up was the question, how did you guys meet? To where Jordon said, we're not talking about this. Here's again from Pablo Torre Finds Out, him reaching out to multiple sources and what he heard on why they're trying to cover up when they met, and also her messing and really never sharing her actual age. Check it out.
She is the person who inspired in a real way the book that is at the heart of that CBS non-promo. She had read, I'm told, Ray Dalio's book, Principles. Like, as an idea mill, as she's credited in the acknowledgments, she does come up with ideas like that book. But what the source has deduced is that she may be saving exclusively any and all talk about their origin story, their relationship, for a potential reality show.
No.
So you hear right there, look at Kasey's face. Potential reality show. Jordon Hudson and Bill Belichick. It would be the most awful thing ever.
Yeah. Get ready.
I instantly teared up at just how much of a no. At what Nolan's reaction with words is what she had. I clearly have more of the wordless portion of it. I literally just tweeted out though, she's getting ready. She's building the basis. She's building the bones to write her own book. Because just imagine, all you need is two semi-funny, semi-embarrassing things about her relationship with Belichick, and this is going to run the ultimate rat race. It's just ridiculous. And something else that came to mind while you guys were chatting and then we were watching the other thing is that PR 101, once upon a time when your girl wanted to do that, it's the semi-intimidation tactic of saying she's welcome here, but making any sort of bold statement that can turn into a storm, you kind of want to create a discomfort so that she doesn't feel as entitled to come around as much. So it's just kind of putting a little bit of a buffer there. So anybody who's semi in their right mind kind of gets this oh, I can tell they don't want me around, but I can still go around kind of vibe.
That's right.
So I feel like this is phase one in PR of trying to put her in a bit of a containment.
Yes.
Ugh, if she writes a book and if there's a show, I'm going to hurl.
Whoa, Case, you both are missing this. This is going to be the rollout. Everyone thinks this is for the relationship, a reality show, a book, or this. No. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. They're breaking up. Is exactly what's going to happen. When they break up, the day it happens, Jordon Hudson is going to go crazy. Press tour, tell-all book, reality show following her around post-breakup. She will be a star following this breakup, and the breakup's coming in 3, 2, 1 any minute now. Because I think
so who's the wounded person in this breakup? Which one's going to be the wounded?
I think it'll be her. And I think she's going to be, yes, thank you, George, the air quotes, right?
Oh, see?
Yeah, she's going to lean into it. Bill, he empowered me to do all these things, but in reality, UNC, the players, she'll make everyone the enemy. Bill himself, she'll make everyone the enemy. And then here comes a rollout. I'm telling you right now. Get ready for it.
Look, I'm not too into trash reality television, but this is as close as I'll get to it. I want to see who she gets an interview with, who gets an interview with her. I reached out, I haven't heard back. Jordan, if you're watching, come on Foxborough Rush or Boston is into the chat. We'd love to hear your side of the story on why you were supposedly, allegedly banned from the UNC buildings. Just putting that out there. But it's also, too, what Pablo Torre shared in his podcast, again, on Pablo Torre Finds Out, that there is that mystery around her age, because potentially when they met on that flight in 2021, she was 19 and he was 69 years old. Not just a 50 age year gap, but she was 19. Now, that is legal. But for two people that bonded over philosophy, the philosophy of a 59-year-old dating a 19-year-old, let alone a 29-year-old, it's murky. So the hypocrisy of this. Here's a piece de la resistance. You guys have not seen this yet, but there's one more. This will be 2 minutes long, this tidbit from it. There's one more you guys got to hear from Pablo Torre on Pablo Torre Finds Out.
What I am told by multiple people among the dozens who witnessed the shooting of this is that what happened that day on set was, quote, highly unusual. Jordon Hudson, who was at the time like a person they kind of heard about, but again, this is last summer.
Yeah.
Not quite the entity that we know now, nothing close, had arrived on set and started immediately pitching herself for a role that had not been discussed in this scripted 7-figure commercial shoot. That would also serve as, quote, the hard launch of their relationship. And she told everybody to hold on, actually, as this idea developed in her head, because what she did was she left set, came back sometime later, and she was wearing a yellow polka dot bikini.
Shut up.
And a sun hat. Right? So she shows up, she's wearing a bikini, she's walking around. Bill Belichick, if you're wondering, betrays no emotional change as this is happening.
Sure.
And everybody around is like, again, this is like, as she called him on set multiple times, this is a star. She kept on calling him a star.
That's why you're
paying
allowed
him
to
a lot
be
of money.
here. We're even pretending to listen to you because of the star, how much he's a star in our eyes.
So that part, right? The how do they manage this question, because she's insisting the hard launch be good for the commercial. And Belichick was going along with it. He's like, of course, this seems totally normal, like a thing you would do. And the crew had to figure out, what the do you do now?
Oh, no.
So the premise of the ad, according to my sources, was Jordon Hudson by the pool, sunning herself in a lounge chair, trying to get Bill's attention, that kind of a thing.
Oh, she added like script idea. It wasn't just she'd be in the background of the shot we saw.
She had motivation.
Okay.
Taping for the actual commercial was done by then. And so what they did was they filmed something.
Oh my God.
That one source told me
this is embarrassing.
may have involved a camera that may not have even been on.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. It's like when you give a kid a controller for a video game and you play it and you go, you're doing great.
So that was for a commercial shoot. Bill Belichick's in for DraftKings. That was filmed last summer. She tried, just like she did with the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, tried to force her way into the DraftKings commercial. And what she saw it as was a way to announce their hard launch as a couple in a DraftKings commercial that was 7 figures. 7 figures, count that. That's 2 commas, guys.
Yeah.
It's insane.
She's a visionary, guys. I don't understand why you two are hating so much.
No, cut it out. I'm not hating. I don't do hypocrisy and I don't do contradiction. It is a headache. And George and I have talked about this. Don't ever formulate your mouth to say you don't want to be in the spotlight, yet you are just strategically trying to have oopsie daisy Monroe moments every chance you get. I can't handle it. I cannot handle it. And honestly, I was saying the whole poor Bill thing, but it's just like at this point, like, Bill, are you happy with the decision that you made? Like, I'm sure you thought that this was just going to be a fun little roll in the park, but my guy, this is just like, it's too much. Your heart can't handle this. My heart can't handle this. I'm 33. I think I'm healthy, and I cannot handle any more of this.
For fear of retributions from the Hudsons.
No,
they're great people.
No, she is Jordan.
They're great people. We're going to drop the last name and just call her Jordan from now on. However, Case, I do feel like maybe I'm offending a Michael Jordan or Michael B. Jordan, but we're going to drop Hudson and just refer to her as Jordan.
Who's more important in your life today?
That's right.
Do not defend a Jordan or a B. Jordan or any of the other Jordans.
The Hudsons are more important, so I'm just going to call her Jordan. I think she's a visionary. Listen. She worked her way into that Dunkin' commercial.
I was waiting for George's reaction.
She got in the bag. I mean, her and Bill was in the Dunkin'. They didn't even have any lines. They were just there. She didn't need to be there. She's a visionary. This is Bill's fault. You know what, Jordan? I'm defending you from here on out. This is Bill's fault. He empowered her. He put her in this position for all these stupid ideas she has. She's pitching to these people. They're looking at her like, who is this? This is Bill's fault. This is not Jordan's fault. Jordan, I have your back on this.
I don't only put it on Bill, because here's another good nugget. That quote from the Pablo Torre Finds Out episode, that the people around Bill watched her power grow inch by inch as he went to UNC. And the reason was there was that void of guidance and a cushion, because Burj Najarian, who ran everything for him with the Patriots, is at BC. But Belichick, who we've known about it, had daily calls with Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniels, and Michael Lombardi. And to quote something that came out of that, they put this as, Matt Patricia is a doormat, because none of those guys stood up for Bill and called it out for what it is. Bill, this is asinine. She is taking advantage of you. All of them are just yes man, which is what Bill Belichick has always surrounded himself with his entire career.
Yeah.
And he's paying the price now because his entire legacy is in shambles.
Okay, so say he's surrounded by yes men and they didn't help protect him from this situation. His children, I mean,
That's
my
what
parents,
I wonder.
There's no way I would be the most obnoxious child to try to protect my parents from this. I know you can only do so much, especially because he's 70, whatever. But like, still.
I feel like we only know the surface of this because who knows?
No, we don't.
Who knows who has possession of Bill Belichick's trust and will? We know who has $9 million in real estate assets thanks to him and his LLCs. There was one more quote from this episode. A source for Pablo Torre said, quote, "She's the worst person I've ever met, and I've worked with multiple sociopaths," end quote.
Goodness.
That is coming from Pablo Torre from an anonymous source on Jordon Hudson. I mean, but everything it's amounting to, forced her way in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, try to force herself into a DraftKings commercial. And mind you, Pablo Torre's show airs on DraftKings. So obviously there's a connection where he had access to the people that were on set for the shoot of that DK commercial. Littleton hat coming on now.
You guys are ridiculous.
But that is where the sources are coming from. What's ridiculous here?
Because it's so clear. Let's be honest.
It's Bill's fault. It is 1,000% Bill's fault.
That's where I'm going. Let's look at Bill. What do you think? I mean, the age gap. He's not exactly George Clooney. This isn't a silver fox we're talking about. And I can say that because I ain't Denzel. Look at Bill and look at her. She ain't there for no damn true love. She's there for the loot, baby. And she got it. She's getting the clout. She's getting the money. This is on Bill. Bill propped her up to even be able to do all this stuff. I think she's getting attacked for the wrong reasons. Not saying she's right. Not saying she's an angel, but I'm saying it's Bill's fault. If we're passing out blame pie, he gets the whole damn pie. I mean, if you give her a slice, it should be a sliver, because she's just doing what he put her in position to do.
As Bob Kraft put it in his Seth Wickersham book, she's quoting, Bill Belichick is, quote, according to Bob Kraft, an idiot savant. Really good at football.
Well,
really good at football.
Everything else.
Guys,
and that's
it's really one of two things.
Yep.
He either has a habit of this, which like look at some of his dating tendencies realistically, and or somebody checked Bill's coffee. And let's just make sure we all keep a pulse on this as time continues to move forward.
What do you think of like rat poison being like poured in little by little?
Honestly, George, I don't have an opinion on it because I'm plotting nobody's death. But at least both of you guys should be excited to be out of this dating climate because these are the weather conditions that people are dealing with. So congratulations to the pair of y'all. But yeah, one of two things is going down for Bill right now.
George, it could be rat poison or Bill could just be drinking and making bad decisions.
Okay.
We don't know what it is. We don't know
We
what's
don't know
going
his
on.
bedtime routine and we don't know his wake-up routine.
What's in that cup, Bill? We need to know.
These bad decisions have been happening for him since N'Keal Harry was drafted in the first round. Again, quick recap. She was allegedly banned from UNC. UNC put out a statement saying that she is welcome to the Carolina football activities, but she will continue to manage all activities related for Belichick outside of anything affiliated with UNC.
That's right.
The other two, though, when it comes to her goal and mission for reality show and trying to force her way into that commercial shoot, shout out to the people on set for DK. They were like, I'm not getting paid enough to deal with this.
That's right.
Let's get in, get out, and have no shrapnel hitting us
I do want to see that footage, though. When they said, I don't know if the cameras were
on. There's no footage.
Somebody had a camera.
The cameras were off.
Even the phone. Someone had
the fact that they had to handle her like a child, like she's handling Bill and somebody needs to find her a handler. This is just like the epic full circle circus.
Get ready, guys. Press tour's coming. I'm telling you, the breakup is the key.
I watch zero reality TV, but like this is it.
Yeah.
This is it for me.
I hated this at first. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I just don't want, I'm good. I really do not care about anyone's dating life.
It's great now.
Totally
but when you're doing stuff like this,
it's great.
Now I'm intrigued. I don't care about the dating life.
That's
it's like, what's the end result?
That's right.
And at this point, too, Steve Belichick, Brian, Jenny Belichick, wife of Steve, you're watching this?
Oh my
Come on, let's hear your side.
Yeah,
we are here for you guys.
That's right.
I want your dad to be okay. I just want him to coach UNC football, and I want to look at their record after every Saturday afternoon.
That's right.
I don't want to wake up and look for headlines from Jordan and Bill. That's all I'm asking.
Amen.
Casey, appreciate you hopping on, talking some tea with us. Cheers to you, Case.
See you guys.
Cheers to Belichick and his future. We'll take a quick break on Foxborough Rush when we're back. Final word after this. Back here on Foxborough Rush. Travis, final thoughts heading into the weekend?
Sign Nick Chubb.
Who?
The Patriots.
Why?
Well, the Browns GM said there's a highly unlikely chance that Nick Chubb comes back with the Browns. Now, I understand. I hear you saying, but Travis, all the injuries, he's not the same back. Who gives a damn? If you're running the ball by committee anyway, what difference does it make? You mean to tell me if you get down in the red zone and Drake May has Nick Chubb behind him, he can't hand him the ball and he can't find the end zone from 4 or 5 yards out? Of course he can. I think the Patriots should sign Nick Chubb, add him into the running back party, and let's get this thing started. Veteran guy on a young team, why the hell not? And you know he wants out of Cleveland, wouldn't you?
All right. Patriots.
You don't hate it.
Around
you don't hate it.
$70 million in cap space.
You don't hate it.
Why not? Mentor too.
That's what I'm saying.
For TreVeyon Henderson, for Ramondre Stevenson.
For Drake May.
For everyone in that building.
Nick
That's a
Chubb.
professional. Every time he tears his knee, he's squatting 600 more pounds the next year.
Well, he should ease up on the weights, maybe. Maybe that's...
Squatting's fine. It's
Maybe
a
go
change
light.
in direction.
I don't know. It might be time, Nick Chubb. Hey, this is a workout guy right here. It could be time to go lighter weight, high rep. Just saying.
Walking backwards up an incline, backwards uphill,
See?
backwards up an incline treadmill. That's what helps strengthen
Nick,
the
if
knees.
you sign with New England, he
I
can
got
get a
you.
workout plan for you, bro.
I got you.
Come
bro.
on.
Plenty of good hills by where I live in Wakefield. You and I, we'll walk them backwards. People will stare. Is that Nick Chubb? They'll be like, why are they walking backwards? He's Travis Thomas and George Balekji. This is Foxborough Rush. Shout out to you guys always joining us and making us part of your day. Shout out the new digs too.
Yeah.
You know, as always, leave us a comment on our YouTube videos. Thumbs up, comment,
right.
subscribe to Nesson, and your comments, we'll bring them on the show. We love the mailbags. We love the fan
That's right.
interaction. What do you guys think of the new digs? And what do you guys think of this Patriots rookie class? We'll have more for that next episode of Rush. See you guys then.